Ah, Lightning Rift. Um, I think Lightning Rift is actually probably the right pick, too, in addition to being a sweet deck that I haven't drafted yet. The other considerations are Jareth, Ham, Worm, Kindle, Solar Blast, or something. But you can do some really nice stuff with Rift in this format. Okay, so the Rift deck is generally red-white. Almost certainly the correct pick here is Battle Screech. Cougar might even wheel. Someone could take Mongol, Goon, Gouge, and I don't think Cougar's going to wheel out of this pack. City in a bottle. For when you just really want to crush those Arabian Nights decks. Very happy. Well, I'm very happy with either cycling card in the pack, to be fair. I'm not sure which of these is more likely to wheel. I'm not sure which of them is better. I lean towards taking the land. Imperial armor. This does dumb stuff sometimes. Might end up being kind of Boros aggro with a Lightning Rift sub-theme. Certainly ups the value of Benevolent Bodyguard for us. I'd be quite happy to wheel Scabland. Ooh. I know I'm passing up like Sultari Troopers here. Sultari Troopers are better in aggro. Like, it's Monday night. We've got one more day with the format. We've killed a lot of people with Shadow Guys. I kind of want to do sweet stuff. Well, this is proceeding amusingly. What a late Kindle. Renewed Faith is good too. If we end up with like 3 of the cycling enchantments, Faith will probably be better. But we only have 1 right now. I'll just take the Kindle. Commando is sweet with Slide. Take Faith now. Eh. I honestly don't know what cards are in Arabian Nights. Maybe I'll look it up and it turns out to be a real sideboard card. Wall of Diffusion is actually okay in red slow decks. Thicket's not the worst. We didn't wheel our earlier Scabland. I think I'm just going to take this thing. You can just play like 22 lands or something if 8 of them cycle. Okay. Suchi is also good. Suchi shouldn't wheel, but it might. Well, we aren't going to be short on cards with cycling. It would be very nice to pick up a second payoff enchantment sometime during the rest of the hello. I actually do think this is just better than Swords to Plowshares right now in this context. Swords only kills 1 guy. Lightning Rift can kill 4 guys. That's the second Yawgmoth wheel we've seen. We could take Sultari Trooper. I almost want to like mess around with Fact or Fiction. Like, now that we have 2 Rifts, really not planning to be a very fast deck. Maybe we get fixing. So, I mean, any card that's white or red and has the word cycling, I'm probably just going to pick. Like, Beetleback Chief is awesome, but this is a good sideboard card versus Storm. Or, main deck card, as it were. There's also the second Thicket, but I'm not super interested in green. And there is a... We might main deck Expunge, especially if we pick a third one up. We'll just main deck Expunges all day long. Alright, that's a good one. I think there was something that in theory could have wheeled, but Suchi failed to wheel, as it rightly should. Maybe you will play Tangle if we end up going green. Chroma's Blessing has cycling. Chartreuse Cougar has cycling. Battle Screech is a Battle Screech. But we don't have any white creatures cheaper than 4. Dunk. Actually, you know what? I think we're more likely to wheel the Blessing, because if you're red, what are you going to take out of this pack? Reckless Charge? No, you're going to take Cougar. If you're white, you could very easily take Screech and Exile first. Also, this pack's pretty solid for Storm. We probably get Threshold pretty quickly. We don't have an Astral Slide yet. Okay, I'll go with this dude. Burning Wish? Burning Wish was good in constructed cycling decks. I'll just take the card with cycling. None of these have cycling, but one of them is very efficient removal spell. Aha! We have reached the first pack without a great pick for us. We might play Mountain Valley if we decide to splash these Tranquil Thickets. What a sentence. I think I like it better than the Squadron. Ooh. This is better than the Thicket, right? Yeah. Maybe I should take Mist Moon Griffin over Gilded Light. Griffin does work pretty well with our 4 land cyclers here. And it helps flashback Battle Screech. We'll just randomly stomp on Storm. So this is 19 non-land. We could just play 21 land in principle. I'm kind of leaning towards playing these cards, plus like 1 forest. We are 1 cycle enchantment short of having a really stupid deck, I believe is the state of affairs. Wow. Yeah. I wish I took the Mist Moon Griffin then. Forgot that one of these was wheeling, but we can really beat up on Storm now. Oh, I think this is a playable removal spell. I'll take it over the 3rd wall. Okay, and we are going to play green. That is some nonsense. These all sort of, go down here-ish. Whee! This would be 19 land. I'm not totally sure about Battle Screech, honestly. It's very bad if you can't flash it back, And we need exactly Zealot or Templar in order to flash it back. We don't even really want to cast Templars much, so we'll just cut Battle Screech for the 20th land, as you do. We're going to have 6 green sources. So, could play Tangle, but I think I'll board it in. Battle Screech is not always a good card. 4 mana to make 2 1/1s at sorcery speed is bad. Battle Screech is usually crazy, but this deck just isn't going to flash it back very much. We only want 1 forest. That is for sure. So we can fetch it, but it doesn't do anything except cycle these guys. We've got way more white cycling lands, but it's a total of 5 white non-basics, 3 red. And we have 3 Templar, 1 Cougar, so a total of 8 white sources and 4 red. So this gets us to 11. Actually, let's do a little sorting as to which cards we actually want mana for and which cards are in fact largely colorless. So this you want double red for. These are pseudo colorless. You don't need white mana for those, so we're much more red in actuality. This is 5, 10, 10, yeah. Well, I guess this is our deck. Games where we just have both Lightning Rifts in the bottom 10 cards are not going to end well. Unless we're playing against Storm. Against Storm, I assume we just deck them. Now, okay. We do want at least 2 planes, so we can Templar for a second one. We've got Rift, we've got 2 Cyclers. Pretty much any hand with red mana and Rift is just a keep. I don't think I'll cast it into Counterspell, so thank goodness they tapped out. This could mean Madness or Storm. I think we should be pretty well positioned against either now that there's a Rift in play. Rift is not that great versus Storm, but triple Gilded Light main deck is pretty good. Oh, neither. Just Owl Familiar and blue-white. Alright. So we're looking to cycle Thicket. Brainstorm, Brainstorm. No shuffles. Well, that's certainly something you can do. Trapper. I think I'll just kill Familiar with Rift. Save 1 damage. It's not like we're going to be lacking in kill effects. Maybe we're supposed to play Zealot there. I kind of just like continuing to draw cards so that we can make our basic land drops. Especially finding second red for Solar Blast. Suckle Spark Spray here, because we're a little red choked. Rift to the face. We have more than enough cycling cards to just Rift for 20. Templar. Maybe I'll just Afterlife that. Well, we could also play our own Templar. Or we could just play Zealot. I'll start by cycling Gilded Light. This is not a matchup where I expect that to do much of anything. I think we actually pay that way, because we have 2 Tranquil Thickets left still. Interesting. I guess we're just outracing them. Oh! No planes left. That's a bummer. Okay, we'll pass. Just kindle their face end of turn. Yeah, only 2 planes in the deck. I think since Gilded Light doesn't look good here, I'll cut 1 for Third Planes. Whee. Oh, let's see if we can't resolve that. Even if they counter it, it's fine. Oh, sure. Well, now we aren't going to be cycling Renewed Faith, so I guess I'll just main phase the Chain Lightning. Yep, fun and interactive. It was actually very fun for me. Alright, so we're cutting something for a Third Planes, that's for sure, in this matchup. Wall of Diffusion doesn't seem that great, though. I mean, it can stonewall Noble Templars. It's not completely clear how aggressive versus controlling they are of a blue-white deck. I'm just going to submit like this for now. Not interested in bringing Tangle in. Alright, so we don't have a Rift, but we do have all 3 colors and a reasonable mix of spells. So I think we're supposed to keep this. We'll fetch a forest on upkeep. Wouldn't play a Rift now anyway. Here we go. Gilded Light. That will be what we plan to cycle this turn. And Renewed Faith here. This is where if we only had 1 Rift, I'd be feeling pretty nervous about potentially just not finding it until we were out of gas. We can kill that with Solar Blast. I think I'll lead by cycling Thicket. And we do have 4, 6 drops. We can try to just get there with creatures if we need to. Yeah, I'll just play Zealot down. We are basically at threshold. We'll have it next turn. It's possible that this is a matchup where Battle Screech is okay. You need to want to cast your Noble Templars for that to be reasonable. Ooh, it's a Rift. Let's Chain Lightning and see if they have a priority stop set. They do. I don't think I want to run Rift out. We're pressuring them for now. Just cycle this. And we could play a step if we want to cast the 6 drops. Yeah. Since we're trying to get a counterspell out of their hand, I'm willing to do it. Definitely not going to be playing the second step at any point in this game, I don't think. I know Cougar is a lot more threatening, but it also gets killed by Exile. If they have Exiles in their deck, they might have just boarded them out. It's an extremely bad card against us. But they might not have known exactly how many non-white creatures we had. Huh. Well, we'll attack with both. If they give their guy flying, then they're tapped out of counterspell. Nope. What's the whale in play? I think we'll get a Cougar down. Jareth, huh? Let's Afterlife that. Bam. Hopefully they counterspell this. Yes! Okay, I think we should have it now. Jareth is good on defense, but it's only 4 damage a turn on offense. Rift should be almost 6 damage a turn. They could have decided in some disenchants. Then they will probably win. Templar doesn't do much. Face. Face is the place. I was actually supposed to cycle Templar earlier that turn, but should not be a huge deal. They didn't draw an answer for Rift. They might even hold Whale back to block Spirit. Apparently not. Okay. Cycling Templar can actually be pretty important in the late game. Just want to go up to 21 land for the main deck. Okay. We will accept this trade. There we go. So even if they rep Seal of Cleansing now, we can cycle Step and kill them with Hardcast Spark Spray. Yep. And that was pretty fast, so I'll play a second one. Ooh, we've got a Rift. We don't have red mana or a second land. I'm actually going to keep this. I think Rift is just very important. Even if we draw a non-red source, we can start cycling with a second land. And we're playing 20 lands because I forgot to go to 21 like I said I would. Rutwalla. Skill game. Well, that was actually pretty unlikely and totally filthy. But the opponent will have no idea. Okay, so we just cycle this, can't pay. They're pumping anyway, sure. And we could Chain Lightning the Rootwalla, but Rootwalla is not very strong. I think we just save this in hand, maybe point it at a wild mongrel in the future. Speaking of mongrel, if they just went mongrel pass, I think I would Chain Lightning plus wall. It's another Rootwalla. Sure. We want to make our land drops. But I also don't really want to cycle these doing nothing. So I will just ship the turn with Gilded Light up. We might also hardcast a Radiance Judgment if they go like main phase, Frantic Search, Arrogant Worm for no reason. Alright. Just gonna target Mongrel. That's worth a card from their hand, which I think is better than a Rootwalla. Okay. Nope. Draw. Sweet. Now they need to discard 2 to save it, which they will. So now we will finish the job. Next turn we've got Templar, Shock plus Wall probably. Oh. Blastoderm. That's interesting. Well, that makes me want to hard cast Templar. So let's just cycle this. Kill a Rootwalla and play Mountain Valley. Blastoderm is pretty good against us. So I think we need a wall to jump with. And I'll play step out in this case. And we do have Radiant's Judgment plus Shock if they go to pump the Rootwalla. Yeah, you can't pump again. You already activated this turn. And you're a mana short of 7 strength. Second Templar. So even if this circular logic, our Templar will go to 1, and then this will fade itself out of existence. Smokestack. I don't think Smokestack is even good for them. I guess there's a cute interaction where they could Smokestack sack their Blastoderm, but they would be sacking 0 this turn anyway. So with the timing, it actually gives them 0 advantage here. Got Afterlife up. Probably just going to cycle Templar. Right. We can't really plausibly kill off Rootwalla with Rift without spending a bunch of damage on it. But the Rootwalla also isn't too relevant anymore, so we don't need to. We're just sacking a land here, so let's sack a tapped land, why don't we? Maybe there could be something on a play at sorcery speed to second Rift. Okay, they've had enough. So we want both of the walls here. So the cut for the 21st land is less obvious. I think it will just be Gilded Light that comes out versus Aftermath, Afterlife. Well, keep thinking of the Amonkhet mechanic for some reason. The biggest creature we saw from them was Wild Mongrel, but they probably have some Arrogant Worms. I'll cut this guy. Afterlife is also sort of a catch-all versus some sort of humongous bomb that we haven't seen yet. Well, there's no rift, but we've got a lot of defense. Wonder what this could be. Choking tethers or something? Maybe they thought they could cast Frantic Search there, but they were a land short. Search into Rootwalla is pretty strong. They could have found Rootwalla plus Arrogant Worm there. That would be an incredible combination of commons. It would be nice to blast the Rootwalla at some point. For now, I think we just play down a second wall. Next turn, if we don't hit a basic, probably going to Planescycle Templar, but we did. So we just pass with mana up instead. Found the perfect basic. They attack with everyone. We block Ophidian Rootwalla. They pump the other one. We kill it. Hello. And a rift that they cannot counter. And land that lets us use rift. That should be game, unless they have a naturalize. Oh no! They did in fact have naturalize. But it lets us kill Rootwalla at least. Well, we're probably going to cast Templar this game. And we've got a second rift floating about somewhere. That dodges all of our stuff, pretty much. I wonder if we could get lucky enough for them to play an Aura on Killer Whale. It's not impossible. I wonder if we're supposed to cycle Spark Spray. It's not really contributing to killing the Killer Whale here. Gets us to 4 with the Lightning, but we're all out of other 1 damage effects in the deck. I think we just chuck it. And that one. And this one. Aha! I feel pretty happy about keeping that card in the deck now, because it is our best and only answer to Killer Whales. Lure enough life, or the plan for next turn is just Templar number 2. Unless I tap out of counter mana. Okay, it did in fact tap out of counter mana, so I'm going to use this there, and then Afterlife their whale. After which we are winning the race. But it's close. This is hardly a dominating position, thanks to their tribute to the wild. Ooh. That dies to Chain Lightning, but if they've got a counter for Lightning, it will be bad news for us. I think we pretty clearly play out second Templar first. Maybe they decide to counter it. Wait, what did they just... Power 9 sighting! So if they do a counterspell now, it has to be one they top decked. Sweet, old art, old frame, time walk. Bzz. So they're killing us in 8 turns. We're killing them in fewer. We're up by a card, down on initiative. Well, that certainly affected the board. I think Killer Whale plus Tribute plus Time Walk plus Control Magic is going to get them there. Though if we draw a second Rift, we can just kill Spirit and then reassert control of the board. Or if we draw a Mystic Zealot, that's just a much stronger flyer. We can pump this to 7. So they could trade it for Mongrel plus Ophidian, or for Templar. I believe both of those trades are acceptable to us in the current board. Pump once, they discard. Well, they might not discard. No, they have to deal lethal damage to the Cougar. Okay. The third Noble Templar is also a good draw for us. Still in the deck. They're certainly packing some solid cards. They've got a good amount of Madness synergy. Kindle, huh? I mean, Kindle the Spirit, the board's pretty clear. I'm not going to attack. That would be very weak to Frantic Search into Arrogant Worm. We no longer need this upkeep stop. We're down to 10 cards in library, so we might want to start holding on to cyclers. Alright. Thing is, if we find Zealot, then we can perhaps kill them without Rift. Okay. Found it. So any cyclers from here on out, I'm just going to stockpile in hand. You might be thinking, Cooper. Yeah. If Lightning Rift is your second card from the bottom, and you have 5 cyclers in hand, that doesn't do anything anyway. You deck out. But you can actually be careful with the stack and cycle. You pay, cycle the second one with the first ability on the stack, cycle the third one with both abilities on the stack, so forth. Playing this is better versus counters. Holding it is better versus the second Tribute to the Wild. Killer Whale doesn't really get them there now. Rift plus Zealot kills it very well. We can block their whole board. Templar on Blastoderm, walls on the other guys. So the second Blastoderm? I wonder if they maybe sided... Oh no. This is just the first Blastoderm we've seen this game. Root Walla. I'm going to hold the Renewed Faith. If they remove a blocker like Manowar, we would need to Faith the Root Walla, I believe. Alright, made it happen. And it's a little past 1 now, my time. Got to stop the stream here for a dentist appointment, but I'm incredibly happy with the deck. Oh, let's sideboard. Not sideboard. Let's modify the main deck with the 21st land. And I'll take out the one Gilded Light, I think. The non-cycling cards we're playing are these 8. Obviously these are uncuttable. Both burn spells greatly pull their weight, as does Zealot. I think you could take out really any of these 4, but these are the ones that help the most versus aggro or fatties. So This is the configuration I like moving into the finals. 3 with Lightning Rift. This 1 Gilded Light, cut 4, 21st land. Thinking about future drafts, the one deck that's kind of signature to VMA out of the strong limited deck here, but doesn't really show up anywhere else, is the Dreampod Druid deck. So I'm going to try to end up with at least one of those before the end of the format. Once we do, well, I'll be open to doing just about anything, which in practice probably means repeating one of the previous sweep decks. Interesting hand. No rifts, no white mana, but we've got wall. We can cycle this and this and this. Willing to keep it, but definitely not thrilled. They're probably goblins with a start like that. So you can probably do something nice with Spark Spray. Although if they play War Chief, that might get us real good. Vortex. Wow, that's interesting. We have 4 points of burn in hand. Yeah, not great against Chief. If we find a rift, though, we can definitely just kill them. Maybe we can get a hit in with Cougar, which should also decide the game, if so. Vortex gets renewed faith. Okay. Just gonna EOT spray that. Maybe I'll try to Reckless Charge. Nope. Wow. So we take 1 from the goblin here, assuming they pay Echo. That doesn't actually affect the Vortex clock directly, but 1 plus 1 does mean we're losing. I mean, we're already losing by a turn. That's how Vortex works. But we would lose an additional turn if we take 1 plus 1. Matron. That's probably quite bad. Goon, huh? That could be worse. But it's... Ooh. Alright, so we're going to just Cougar here. And I think that means they will probably not attack. Unless they have like a Chain Lightning. Not having any white is pretty bad, but we can plain cycle Templar, cycle Renewed Faith. There's the Goon. Ugh. So we're a mana off of playing this Templar. Means we might just have to trade Cougar for Goon. And then hope to rip a Rift. We could also chump Goon and eat Chief. That's probably better. Yeah, that's certainly better. Well, we can't even trade now. But if they attack with everything, we just kill them with Cougar. Yeah. No reason to double block. If there were an instant speed trample trick, we might double block. Gilded Light can be relevant against burn to the face. Dang. Held up the wrong color. We only need to have 1 pump up there, I believe. Actually flooded to death with this deck. It's pretty impressive. It's not completely over. I think we're in a very bad spot. This attack seems kind of sketchy unless I have a 3 damage burn spell. Eat, chump. Go to 5 and then 3. Yep. Ooh. Holding Gilded Light means we probably would have won with Cougar. I think it was right to cycle though. If we hit something that wasn't a bunch of lands, that also helps. We could take Tribute to kill Sulfuric Vortex. I don't really think I like that. I do want Tangle though. We've actually got a lot of green sources. This seems quite strong. Afterlife is pretty awful against goblins. Can be good against Goblin Goon, but that's about it. Zealot is good. I think Judgment might be just worse than Gilded Light. They cycle the same. These can kill Goon. This can protect our face. Gonna keep the Judgments. Could play Battle Screech. Don't think it's correct. We might end up casting Templar in defense, but it's really slow. And we probably wouldn't want to tap it to make 2/1/1s in certain boards. Okay. This hand has a Rift, and we're on to play. So I think things are pretty favorable. We can't actually get a shock on turn 3 with the current hand. Now we can. This should essentially be game. Mono Red's only answer to Rift is Chaos Warp. Cycle this, and if we don't hit a land, I'll just play Step. We found a land and played Step. Sure. I think they might Vortex here, but that's a race they'll lose quite badly. Yeah. Wow. They go like War Chief plus Pile Driver, maybe they have us. Click Slither. That's not great either. Click slither is +2 + 1, right? +2 + 2. We have a response. So we've got 4 shocks next turn. We're only going down to 9. Gilded Light can be hard cast if we need it. Chief's too slow, I think. Yeah, we just point 5 rifts at their face. Chief never has any opportunity to do anything. There are a lot of red enchantments that relate to dealing 2 damage in play. Killing the matron here is pretty free. Oh, no it's not. I've been miscounting. Not used to having both rifts, but we were supposed to cycle Solar Blast there. Should be pretty safe still with the Gilded Light up. They've got 2 3-point burn spells, one of which is an instant. Oh no. Believe we can let this resolve. And then we go to 4, take 3, kill them on our upkeep with Lethal Vortex on the stack. And we still have Gilded Light up the whole while. So, both rifts point face. Solar Blast pings 1/1. Yes. 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 Oh man. So they need an instant speed burn spell to get us. Good ol' 1 life vortex trigger on stack. Lethal. I do still like the Tangle. If we play another Vortex game, Flowstone Healing could be really good. And we saw more face burn, so I'm going to bring in the 3rd Gilded Light. Helion is not an impressive defensive card, though. We would sort of be playing it as an unreliable Lava Axe. That description makes it sound pretty unappealing. Okay, submit. Oh, Rift. Let's keep. Radiance Judgment can cycle without white. Kindle is good too. Yeah. No way we want to hold that back. I don't have anything on 1 or 2. Should be able to wrap this up pretty decisively. Even if they get Goon, we can hard cast Judgment to kill it. So probably we have Faith, Rift, into Tranquil, Rift, Kindle on 5. Beetleback Chief is very good against this stuff, though. It does take 3 triggers to totally mop up. Right. Okay. So this turn is actually Templar Rift to guarantee that we have 5 next turn. Potentially on 6, we can face Rift, Judgment Rift. And unless they have just like 3 more Beetleback Chiefs, Eventually they should be out of stuff and we'll still have a full hand. Interesting that they're playing something pre-combat. If it's a Vortex, I will cycle Faith in response. But I don't know why you'd play a Vortex pre-combat. I think that's fine. They can sacrifice stuff for mana in response to Rifts, but it is mid-combat mana. If they sack both in response, it's actually great because we don't have to pay and we can kindle this turn instead. Okay, we let their kindle resolve, dealing 2. And then I want to think for a bit. One line is to kindle an attacking goblin. Another line is to just kindle their face, or we could take 2 and wait. I feel pretty comfortable with the plan of just killing everything they have. Ah, Tangle. That's kind of an interesting one. We cannot cast Tangle and cycle Thicket. So I think we're just going to do this. We should hold the mountain up in case we draw a Spark Spray. Doing it main phase because of the Skirk Prospector. Yes. Alright, they've had enough. Double shock, cantrip, double shock cantrip, double shock cantrip. Yeah, I mean, having Rift up is usually pretty gross. I think we had 21 cycling cards, which makes it really silly.